Johnny is being led into a trap. Johnny's the sacrificial lamb here, and his family has no idea. I'm telling you guys, this is why Dad loves him so much. Because they finally found someone to take care of their son. They knew that the only shot they had at making sure their kid was going to be taken care of at their old age is if Amy gets married. Join us this Wednesday, March 13th at 9 p.m. Eastern for the live reaction to the Love is Blind Season 6 reunion. Go to rumble.com/Donovan Sharpe and hit the notification bell. Links in description. Did it ever occur to us that the reason why Amy is so hell-bent on getting married but not having kids was because of her brother? Huh? Did it ever occur to us that maybe this was the plan from the start? It probably wasn't discussed directly, probably was discussed indirectly, but Dad seems to be really, really enthusiastic about his daughter marrying Johnny for good reason. But let's not pretend that her mother and father are older. They're old people. They are senior citizens. And they are taking care of a grown-ass man right now. They're taking care of a grown-ass man. So yeah, Dad can say, yeah, I had my reservations, but now I'm all in. No, I think Dad was always all in. I think this family, and don't get me wrong, I'm sure that they're happy that this is happening. They're happy because they think Amy's in love and blah, 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 guys. But the more information, the more we learn about Amy and her mindset and her mentality, the more this almost looks like that. It almost looks like this was a plan from the jump. And you remember when you, and you guys remember when Amy sort of brought up the brother thing. She's like, hey, I have something to tell you. My brother is autistic, or my brother is special needs. He's autistic, blah, 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 blah. I was just hoping that wasn't a deal breaker. Why would that be a deal breaker if he's being taken care of by her parents? Right? She says, yeah, eventually we are going to have to take care of him. Eventually could mean a week after the honeymoon, guys. Right? A week. I mean, for all we know, Amy mom and dad might kind of giving each other like the silent nod, like, okay, all right. And again, her girlfriends told her, yeah, this guy isn't your type, but you found it in your heart to fall in love with this guy. Well, the fact that her brother needs a caretaker, guys, I'm telling you, her brother needs a caretaker. Her parents are her brother's caretakers. Her parents can't do that forever. Her parents are probably, they're probably tired of it at this point. And so the responsibility has fallen to Amy to find someone who can help take care of her brother. Again, I'm not saying that this was what they all sat down. Okay, we're going to strategically do this, but I think that this was in the back of their minds the entire time, Amy included. Because like I said, if her parents are her caretakers, why would it be a red flag about her brother? And she says, listen, eventually we're going to have to take care of him. Johnny didn't ask, well, how soon is eventually? Like, we talking 5 years, 10 years, 5 weeks, 10 weeks, 1 month, 2 weeks? Guys, I'm here to tell you, man. Yeah, Johnny, King Life nailed it. Johnny's the sacrificial lamb here. And his family has no idea. No idea. They have no idea. And she made a very, very big deal out of talking about her brother. And Johnny completely, yeah. And she was like, look, I just want you to know that we're going to eventually, he's like, yeah, that's fine. I'm there with you. We'll ride or die. Johnny, that might get here sooner than you think. And as soon as they have to be the caretakers for her brother, gentlemen, that relationship is effectively over. Nah, man. No, this is a grown man with grown man strength with the mental capacity of a toddler. And if you think Having a child makes it all about them and the relationship changes. Imagine having to take care of a grown man who cannot take care of himself. That is infinitely more work and responsibility than it ever was raising a child. Johnny is being led into a trap. Yeah. See that? See that, guys? It all makes sense. It all makes sense. Like, Dad is all about him. Dad is like, I give my treasure to you. Like, dude, he's given Johnny his endorsement. Like, I'm telling you guys, this is why Dad loves him so much. Because they finally found someone to take care of their son. They knew that the only shot they had at making sure their kid was going to be taken care of at their old age is if Amy gets married. And you know they had that conversation. Hey, look, Amy, before you go on the show, you better make sure that whatever guy you pick or whatever guy picks you, you better make sure they know about your brother. Because if you don't mention that, and eventually, Amy, you're going to have to take care of him. And if your future husband is not, if he's unaware of this, that could really, really, really fuck things up. It'll fuck things up for you, it'll fuck things up for him, and it'll fuck things up for us. So make sure you mention the fact that if you get me, you get my brother too. Guys, I'm trying to tell you. Apollo says, is it bad to want Johnny to say no and avoid the situation? Fuck no. And as much compassion as I have for people who are disabled or mentally handicapped, that's not my problem. And it shouldn't be my problem. Look, I can feel sorry for you from afar. Maybe I'll donate a couple of dollars to a foundation. But yeah, it does not make you a bad person to want Johnny to say no and avoid this bad situation. Gentlemen, this is worse than marrying a single mother. This is worse than marrying a single mom. At least when you marry a single, or you get with a single mom, at least the kid has, you would imagine, capacity, right? Like, the kid knows how to speak English. They're social, like they're a normal, functioning, physical kid. This kid is not normal. He probably needs help using the bathroom. Oh my God. Oh, Jesus fucking Christ. Like, this is like, I never thought about it until I actually saw the brother. I'm like, there's something off with this. Why is she so hell-bent on not having kids and this and that and the third? That's why. And you want to know something? I don't think Amy wants kids. I don't think she does. Or at least that's why she's holding off on them. Ooh, Devin says, Johnny should spend 3 days taking care of him to truly understand what he is signing up for. Absolutely. The problem is if he requested that, then he'd be painted as a misogynist. Right? I agree. Devin's right. Ken Rose says, why don't they just hire a caretaker? Because caretakers, Ken, are very, 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 very expensive. Yeah, there you go, Devin. Yeah, there you go. Caretakers are $300 a day. You got that right. And that $300 a day, that's only for 8 hours in the day. That caretaker makes $300 so you can go to work. So you want him 5 days? You want a caretaker 5 days a week or 7 days a week? Do you want to pay $1,500 a week? Or do you want to pay $2,100 a week? Do you want to pay $6,000 a month? Or do you want to pay $8,400 a month for a caretaker? This is why people take, this is why they have a care. This is why they take care of the kid. That's why they take care of her brother, because they can't afford, they can't afford a caretaker. Are you kidding me? They would, if they paid for a caretaker, they would never be able to retire. And they know they can't. Guys, it is all making sense. Her parents are close to retirement. They probably got a nest egg for their retirement. But that nest egg will absolutely vanish. Dude, that nest egg would vanish within just a couple of short years. Oh, this is bad. Oh, this is very bad. Oh my God, this is bad. This marriage is to protect her parents' retirement. Johnny has no idea what's happening right now. He has no idea. Johnny wants to retire at 50. Nope. That's not happening. That is definitely not happening. You want to know why? You want to know why he won't be able to retire at 50? 2 reasons. Even if he makes enough money to retire at 50, he's still got to take care of the brother. That's a full-time fucking job. That's a full-time fucking job. This guy's going to trade one full-time job that used to pay him XYZ to another full-time job that pays him absolutely nothing. The reason they don't hire a caregiver is because caregivers are expensive. Caregivers are between $200 and $400 daily. They make $50 to $75 an hour. That shit is expensive. That's why. And I'm telling you, the reason why the parent, here's the thing. I think Amy's dad probably does very well for himself. He probably does very well for himself, and for a while, they probably did hire a caretaker. Because at that point, they could afford it. Right? At that point, they could afford it, but at some point, he's got to retire. Her dad is what, in his mid to late 50s, maybe early 60s? Right? He can't do that. He's not going to work forever. This dude is close to retirement. Man. And so to preserve his nest egg, they probably said, all right, wife, we can save money. Guys, I'm telling you, I think the wife is the one that takes care of the kid when Amy's dad is at work. This is the decision they made. They were both working, making good money. They hired a caregiver, which was expensive, but they could afford it. They still managed to save some money, right? But eventually, Amy's dad started doing the math, and he's like, okay, we can pay for this now, but we're kind of getting close to retirement here. I'm not going to make this money forever. And eventually, we're going to get too old to give our son the care that he needs. Guys, I'm trying to tell you that this is the plan. Because Amy told Johnny, she said, I've got to talk to you about something. It's a pretty big issue. It's about, and we were like, oh boy, she's got a kid. And she's like, well, I've got a special needs, I've got a brother. And I remember thinking, everybody was like, well, what's the big deal? So, the kid's your brother, whatever. Then she said, yeah, he's got some special needs and blah, 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 blah. And she wasn't specific, but it was enough. We were like, oh, wow. So she's crazy and she has a brother she has to take care of. I had not even thought about it. Until this point. Hadn't even thought about the brother. Every once in a while, he would come into our head, it'd come into my mind, and, I would mention it. Yeah, plus the brother. She's not on birth control. She wants him to get a vasectomy, and they got to take care of the zany brother. Oh, my God. But seeing the brother and seeing that he really is special needs and seeing how large he is, that's when the gears started, when I was like, whoa, wait a minute. Let's slow down here. The brother might have been the reason why this is going down in the first place. Because the dad is selling it real good. I have my reservations about this, but now I'm in. He said that 3 times now. 3 times. Why would someone reiterate that point 3 times? Yeah, okay, maybe twice I got it. But 3, 4 times? It's almost like he's trying to circumvent this kind of critical thinking. Because I guarantee you, nobody else is thinking about this angle. Anybody else who reacted to this or whatever the case may be, they're not looking at this like we are. They're not looking at this like we are. So Amy's dad keeps telling us on camera, I wasn't for this. I had my reservations, but now I'm all in. It's as though he wants to it's as though he wants to avoid any suspicion that this was a plan in the first place. Well, it couldn't have been a plan because I didn't want her to do it in the first place. Who knew that who knew that they would fall in love and get married? Yeah, like, look, I wasn't with this, but as soon as I met Johnny and had his soul, how many times have you seen a father-in-law on Love is Blind go up there and hug the husband to be? Yeah, exactly 0. This is a sell job, guys. Dad is like, hey, welcome to the family, blah, 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 blah. They reiterate, they're making sure, they're all of these assumptive closes. Guys, it all fits. It all fits. Join us this Wednesday, March 13th at 9 p.m. Eastern for the live reaction to the Love is Blind Season 6 reunion. Go to rumble.com/Donovan Sharpe and hit the notification bell. Links in description.